Hello, hello, friends. Today we are in the lovely SSG 170. No, I'm just kidding. Screw that. What is up, YouTube? How's it going, guys? Welcome back to the V1 Simulations channel. I gotta get this off my chest because this was really funny. Pedar Bach. He says, I'm always skeptical of pilots who never introduce themselves on the PA. I like to gauge their mood. Dude, cheers to that, man. That was pretty funny. I definitely got a little chuckle out of that one. I always tend to make a PA myself. I remember one time when I was a new hire first officer and I was flying with the captain who said, hey, can you always do the PAs for me because I just sound drunk all the time? And he did. He was an older guy. I think he had... I think it was a medical condition. I think he actually had a stroke at one point, and it kind of paralyzed part of his face, which is a very serious issue. But I mean, he was a great guy, and it just passengers would get uncomfortable at his announcements because of the way he talked. But that just kind of reminded me of that, man. That's funny, dude. Good chuckle there. But hey, we got a good shout out. Let's go. Marvin Brooks in the house. Slam Cannon, what's going on, dude? Jeremy Harvey, how's it going? Cody M. Dougal McTavish in the house. Promoting Simwings as always, guys. If you haven't already, ! Simwings. We'll talk about that a little bit later, as well as we're going to be doing a Simwing string here in a couple days as well. Carta Joel, who is the superstar for this evening's stream. He is the reason we're doing this stream right now, and he's also the reason that you see this little N1 fan on this Neo engine doing a little spinny right now. So Carta Joel is the legend of the evening. So this is going to be a good stream. I am Dimitri. What is up, man? Good to see you here. You are right, guys. We are in the FlightFactor A320, but hold on a second. Can you tell what's different? Okay, we've got the Neo engines. Definitely something different, and we also have sharklets. So a little bit about the sharklet mod. It's been out for a while. It looks cool, but it does mess up your wing flex, which to me, wing flex is not a huge deal in the Airbus. I definitely would want the wing flex, yes. But realistically, you really don't see the wings flex that much on an Airbus. They are pretty rigid. However, if you install the mod, you will not be able to have any wing flex on that version. So, Daniel Smith, I took the plunge about the 320 last week. Great aircraft. Yes, sir. I saw you flying it around, man. Did some good pictures. Excellent. So if you want more information about this mod, I know you guys are going to be asking about it. There's actually 2 mods at play here. Actually 4 mods. So we have the Matavia mod. We have the BSS sound pack. Then we have the FMOD sound pack that goes on top of the BSS pack. He kind of merges the two, so FT mod. And then we have the Neo engine mod, and then we also have the Sharklet mod. So this is a highly modified airplane. If you do ! Mod, you're going to get 2 links, one to the base Neo engine mod, and then one for the Neo sound pack. And I have a sip of the bourbon here tonight. It is Friday night. We got the bourbon out. We're going to be on the edge of Pilot, so we want to bust out the top shelf for Pilot Edge. We've got the double oaked bourbon going. But ! Mod, and it will give you a link to the sounds as well as the base Neo engine mod and the base instructions. Now, I only recommend you guys going down this rabbit hole of modding your FlightFactor if you are well versed in plane maker and editing, data rest, and things like that. I haven't spoken with Carta yet. I don't know if he is planning on doing a video tutorial on how to completely install this. I kind of tinkered around with it. I had it going. I had the engine installed, but I had some bug here with the fan blades. They were either fixed or just on, which was kind of weird. So he was able to help me with that. So, like I said, if you guys really want to see a tutorial on how to do it, probably going to have to hit up Carta, see if he would be willing to do a video tutorial on it. He is fantastic with editing data rest and things like that. So these engines come off of the JAR 320. So you also have to own the JAR Airbus to get these engines. Now, it seems like a lot, but take a look at this wing view. That is freaking sweet. Okay, these engines look good. Now, to boot, we can't really see got the cargo door open there. Let's come over here. There we go. Look at that. So, I fly the Neo in real life as well. And the one thing about the Neo is it is definitely a quieter airplane, especially from up front, very quiet. Engine start is very quiet. But the application of thrust and when you are demanding power from these engines, oh boy, it makes a whine like none other. Actually, it's almost like a baby 777 whine, if I can even compare it like that. It's just got that real high bypass ratio scream to it, and they sound fantastic. So when I actually installed the sound mod before I installed the Neo engine mod. And when I heard how good the sounds were, I said, I have to sit down and dedicate some time to figure out how to get these engines on there, because this sounds so good. It sounds so realistic to me. It sounds like a Neo. The FT Sim has done a fantastic job with the FMOD sound pack of this airplane. So, Colin Shirley says, V1, it feels like the Airbus wing flex is less of a true wing flex and more of the wings dipping up and down over uneven surfaces. Yes, I agree with that, Colin. And to be fair, most Airbuses that don't have the sharklets, they really hardly flex at all. I mean, you just look out there with a standard wingtip fence, that wing is rigid, and it is pretty rigid throughout the duration of flight. So, enough about that. Let's hop into the cockpit here. We are cold and dark. We are on the Pilot Edge network. A couple of you guys were asking for it, wanted to see me back handling the communications. So I'm going to do Pilot Edge. We're going to do 1 month of Pilot Edge here. We are going to be flying into Burbank. Okay, Burbank is one of the shortest runways in our route network, and there's a lot of procedures that go into taking an Airbus into Burbank. So we'll talk about that en route on our way over there. A couple things we're going to have to talk about as far as landing distances and things like that. But until then, let's go ahead and get this puppy fired up, loaded up, and then we'll get on the clearance delivery freak and get out of here. So I need to pause this view over here on my second monitor so I can bring up my chat window a little bit larger so I can see you guys. Perfect. Now, I think we're ready to go. So we'll go ahead and come to the overhead up here just like before. We haven't been in the bus in a while, so let's go ahead and get the APU primed up. Crew supply oxygen come on. Ground control push button is on. ADIRs are flashing because they are aligned. We're still taking fuel. We're going to leave those off. The fire test has already been completed. We've got our fault lights where they should be, and the signs are off right now. That is perfect. So our overhead looks good. Flap open message down there on the lower ND. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Take a listen. Carta asked, did I get the last Discord message for the glitches? Yes, I did, Carta. However, I did not have time to fix I didn't have time to implement it. I realized that we were doing Pilot Edge tonight, so I was like, man, I got to make sure the database is there, and I got to make sure I got charts and everything like that. So I apologize. I did not have your fix installed, but Carta has got a little fix for the wing flex issue as well. What you're going to notice on the taxi out, the wings will wiggle a little bit and the sharklets will stay in a fixed position. But once you get airborne, you can't tell a difference. But I think he's got a little fix out there where it will get rid of that when you're taxiing out. So I'm not too worried about it. We'll live with it on just the taxi out on the ground part. But yeah, so we've got that going. We're back in the cockpit here. We've got APU bleed on. External power can be disconnected. Let's go ahead and hop into the box. I have to kind of rearrange some of my... Oh, here, the packs kick on there. Initialize. Let's get this puppy loaded up. We're going Phoenix to Burbank. Initialization. Boom. Our alternate is Los Angeles. The winds were gusting the last I checked there, so we're going to have a precautionary alternate for short runway operations. Certain times of the year, those Santa Ana winds there in Burbank, they can get really rough. You can get a lot of turbulence coming in over the hills. California always leaves you high, or SoCal always leaves you high, it seems like. And yeah, it can be a bad situation quickly. So we got an alternate of Los Angeles in there. We're going to cruise over there. We're going to do cost index of 75. I believe I filed us at 340. Initialization, align on ref, confirm. Beautiful. Jeremy Harvey says, my friend who flies the Neo says that it climbs smoother and feels a little different from the regular 320 family. Is this true? Absolutely true, Jeremy. So what I've observed in the Neo is that low altitude, you get better performance. And for those that aren't really familiar how these Neos work or how engines work in general, there's two things going at work there. Very basic concept. You have bypass air, and then you have compressed air, essentially. So the Neo has a very, very large N1 fan. And a lot of this air gets bypassed right through. I mean, you can see through the engine. Let's see if I can zoom in on it there. All right, see, I can see right through. That is true to real life. You see right through there. So all this air is going to go in. It's going to go around the hot section, which you can kind of see is right here, where it goes in, gets compressed, ignited, and all that. A high bypass like that, you're going to get better performance down low. However, up at altitude, where you're going to get most of your thrust is going to come from the hot section, the turbojet section. So I feel like at altitude, the Neo is a little bit lacking in performance, but once you get up there, the fuel savings is well worth it. But down on the ground, man, it climbs nice, it's smooth, it just sounds freaking sweet. I'm excited for you guys to listen to these sounds. So let's go ahead and continue prepping. I'm going to call clearance delivery before we get things going here. So I'm going to have to just slow it down. I haven't done a pilot edge flight in a while, in some time. I know some of you guys are a fan of it, some aren't. I figured we can give it a shot for a couple of days here. 27.57 on the Addons. Let's go ahead and load that up here.
Phoenix Sky Harbor International Airport.
Oh boy.
Information Golf. 2251 Zulu. Wind 080 at 12.
All right. Why is my pilot edge sound coming from my monitor? Here we go. A Razor Kraken. Let's try it again.
8.
Whoa.
Visual approaches in use. ILS runway 7 right at ILS runway 8 approach in use.
7's in use.
Simultaneous approaches to parallel runways in use. VFR departures, contact, clearance delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short instruction. Advise on initial contact. You have information golf.
Information golf. I'm taking off eastbound. I just wanted to get the rest of the
Harbor
information
International
there.
Airport. 8 is information golf. 2251 Zulu. Wind 080 at 12. Visibility 10. 17,000 scattered. Ceiling 1000 broken. 3000 broken. Temperature 24. Dew point 3. Altimeter 300. Arriving runway
All right,
7 right.
that's all we need to
8.
know. 3001.
Departing runway 7 left.
Temperature of
8.
24. Pretty nice day out here in the deserts. 3001, that's set 1, 2, and 3 times. Perfect. I don't know why I zoomed out there. 3001 is good. And all right, so we can go ahead and continue. We'll actually just get our clearance because we don't know what they're going to give us. So clearance is going to be on 1801. What does the ground control push button do? What that does is it will...
Yeah.
Interesting. What the ground control push button does, Dan Smith, is it allows the CVR to record cockpit communications prior to an engine start. So the Airbus, with the engines off, sitting there, you know, if you have no power to the airplane, you power it up. You're not recording anything on the CVR unless you press the ground control push button. So, possible video tutorial on the Neo engine. You know, I would if the Neo, if this engine was a true,
16 left or right?
like true, made a difference. It doesn't. It's really an aesthetic mod only. Okay, and there's hardly any differences between flying a Neo and a CEO, other than some of the performance that you're going to experience, and some warm-up times and things like that. But okay, so we've got all that set. 18.1. We've got information golf. This is my first call of Pilot Edge in a while. Hopefully, I saw my button bound. And who are we? We're Spiritual Wings 423.
Either way, you'll get vectors either way. Just depends on which runway you want, left or right. It's fine by me.
Temperature 24 in Celsius? Yes. Yeah, Tesla guy, it's very similar. The only differences off the top of my head are engine warm-up and cool down. That's required. There's just longer. Longer warm-up and a longer cooldown required. Good evening, Phoenix Clarence, Spirit Wings 423, looking to get IFR to Burbank. I wonder if I filed my flight plan correctly.
Spirit Wings 423, Phoenix clearance clear to Burbank Airport. Zephyr 1 departure, jackpot transition that is filed. Climb and maintain 8,000. Departure frequency 120 point... Correction, departure is a 119er.2. Squawk 4671.
All right, we're cleared to Phoenix, Zephyr 1, jackpot transition, then as filed. Climb maintain 8,000, departures 19.2, squawking 4671, Spirit Wings 423.
Spirit Wings 423, read back correct.
All right, so we've got our clearance up to 8,000 as filed. Hey, check it out, guys. I got our flight plan filed the first try.
Number 106, you're Tango, turn right, heading 350 vectors, ILS runway 16.
So we got 8,000. We don't need him anymore. We'll go ahead and come back down here. Actually, you know what? We have 2D pop-outs now, which is good. So let's do this. I got to rearrange all my units here so we can see them. And we'll pop this sucker out here. All right, Phoenix, we're probably going to get... they're taking off 7s, and we're over here at Terminal 2. We'll probably get 7 left for departure, so let's go ahead and load that up. 7 left on... Oh no, don't tell me I don't have the Zephyr. What's our database showing? Rutro. What's our Zephyr? Michael Natoro, thank you for the subscription, my friend. Welcome to the channel. We're just getting started here. Zephyr 1 RNAV. Why don't I have a Zephyr 1? Is this an old database? Is this an old database, guys? I don't know. I think it is. I think February, March. Well, that's not good. That's not good. Buckeye, Filthy, Yotes. We do not have the Zephyr. Really?
Subscribe.
BH what's up? Welcome. I could make it with the chart. Yeah, you know, I could. Well, we can try that. Let me erase that. Let me go back side here. We're going to go ILS runway, or let's see, let's just put in, what do we expect in there? 8? Let's see what we have for arrivals. I'm just going to put in the 8 for now. And we were on the Janny 2, Janny 5. Oh yeah, this is way out of date. Way out of date. Janny 2. I'm going to build it backwards. From Needles. Let's just build, we're going to start building this backwards here. I want to see what we've got. So, Needles. I've never had to do this before. We're literally building a flight plan backwards. And then Jackpot. JKPOT. JKPOT. If all the fixes are in here, I may just request a different SID. Well, or I could just build it. What the heck? We'll just build it. Alright, so it's going to be out to Sparky. Oh boy. I feel like I'm going to get in trouble already on my first flight back with Pilot Edge. SPRKY After Sparky, it's Goalie, Goaly. So this is definitely a non-authorized procedure. You do not want to be doing this. Sparky, Goalie, Golder. I do not recommend this to anybody flying on, oops, misspelled that one, on a network. But I am willing and able to accept the consequences of my actions. So, Goalie, Golder, Zepper, Z-E-P-E-R. Which Zepper is it? I hope it's the one, I hope it's this one. Let's see. Alright, let's look through Goalie. Yep, there's Zepper. After Zepper, it's Mesa. M-A-Y-S-A. I don't think that's... Is that the right one? Yeah, execute. Programming is not easy. At least they give us a good Neo engine. Yeah, you got it, man. All right, so after Mesa, then we're going to Jackpot, JKPOT. JKPOT. Oh, we already put that in there. So we just have to connect it. And then insert that. Now the Janny, let's take a look at this Janny arrival. I want to make sure I feel like I'm missing a transition or something. So we'll take a look here. Janny from, oh man, I don't know if I can program all these. What do we got? Needles is where we're coming in from. Then it should be Copley. So what we have is Copley. Oh my gosh, it wants me to put in all these fixes. Oh wait, no, this is FlightFactor. It's got a messed up method of getting transitions. There we go. Boom. Needles. Insert. Done. Delete the disco. Delete the duplicated needles. Delete that disco that I put in there. Insert. Thrust setter, hello V1, back on Pilot Edge. Yes, sir. You guys wanted to see it. I figured, hey, why not? We can do it for a month or so. All right, so I've got our flight plan in there now. Now we need to get the altitudes for the departure. So this is definitely a interesting way of building a departure procedure. Hope the FAA does not enter the chat. Alright, so Phoenix Sparky, no restriction there other than climbing like a rocket, 1635. Goalie at or below 9,000. So we're going to come over here. Goalie 9,000 below during the climb. Actually, I should just make it a hard constraint. 9,000, that's fine. Golder all the way out. No other restrictions there. Okay, so top altitude 8,000. I think that'll work, guys. I think that'll work. Manual legs, Silex, we're going to see what runway they're running there. So, okay, flight plan is in the box. That took a heck of a lot longer than I anticipated. Secondary initialized. Let's get our return. Phoenix to Phoenix. You guys will be happy to know that the TOLUS new FMGC logic has secondary flight plan function. That'll be very good to have in case you have to do an air return. If we got to come back, we're going to come right back around to 7 left. That's in the box. Perf data. Scoot over to the approach here. I'm just going to put 200 in the decision altitude. I'm not going to look it up right now. 30.01. Temperature was 24 Celsius. Winds were 080 at 12. Boom. How did the Mad Dog stream go yesterday? It was great, man. I had a lot of fun. In the Mad Dog yesterday, so pretty good. Secondary is done. RadNav page, which is right here. We're not going to hard tune anything yet. Init B. Let's take a look at our loadout, guys. So I've already got our fuel set 6.1. Passengers, I have us loaded up here with 109, and cargo, that looks good. Set that. So now I hit wait request. Let's go over here. What do we got? 51.4, that matches, and 27.7 CG. 58 minutes of extra gas. Got us landing in Burbank with 3.2. That's perfect. We cannot be heavy. There's a lot of different restrictions that are going to go in here into landing in Burbank. We should be okay with 3.2. So that looks, looks absolutely perfect. Let's go ahead and remove the baggage loaders. Let's go ahead and remove the fuel truck. Our fuel is on board. Let's go ahead and get things rolling here. Fuel pumps can come on. Seatbelts on. Arm that. I think she's going to do an announcement for us, maybe. Doors are closed. Beautiful. Our I has been done, so P, KPHX 07 for our departure. Put that there. Our perf data, what do we got for speeds? I'm going to no flex this today because I want you guys to frickin' hear this screamer. 125, 29, 33. I'm going to change it just a tad. 131, 133. That looks about right. We're going to do a flaps, a 1 takeoff, no flex because we got to go full yoga. You got to hear these engines scream. They are frickin' sweet. So flight director's back on here. Yeah, top altitude 8,000. What do we got for a squawk code? 4671. 4671. Pilot Edge likes to see this operated on. So in real life, we just put that in auto, but Pilot Edge wants to see that on. So 4671, TARA mode. Beautiful. Let's go ahead and close up the doors. Oh, that's under service. And we'll go ahead and remove the chocks, remove the ground power, and remove, close it up. Prepare doors for departure and cross check. All right, now I can get back to the chat. How's it going, guys? Jews Mate 2507, hey everyone, how you doing? I'm doing just fine. How you doing, sir? I'm excited to be back in the Airbus. I'm excited to be on Pilot Edge, actually. We'll see how this goes. Pilot Edge is a fantastic, I'm moving my chair around, is a fantastic learning tool for you guys that are learning to become pilots, or if that's something that you want to do. Pilot Edge is a great tool for learning how to speak on the radio. These engines from Jar Design, yes, Maddie, these are the Jar Design Neo engines. So you have to own the Jar Design 320. All right, Haley's doing her thing. We're not going to push on to, let's pre-plan. I don't want to push onto a taxiway, so we're going to push off. We're going to push back here.
Grounded cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready.
All right, window doors and slides there, closed and arm. We'll get the beacon on here in just a second. Everything else looks good. We don't have to call for push. Pull up our taxi diagram. So things got to go a little bit slower for being on a network. Going to make sure you do things right. We're going to push back off Terminal 2. And then I'm expecting Delta 1 to 7 left. Or they may totally hose us and make us go to 8, which that would suck, but hopefully they don't do that. All right, I think we're ready to go now. Oh, and you know what I do have? Now that we're back in the bus, I want to make sure we're running checklists. Let me pull up my checklist so we can not skip any items. We'll get the beacon on. I think that'll cue Haley.
Safety is our top priority, so we appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. To follow along with safety information card located in your seatbelt pocket. Federal aviation regulations require compliance with all crew member instructions, lighted information signs, and posted placards.
Alright, just get my checklist up while she was doing her announcement. Let's run it. Before takeoff, checklist normals. Maintenance log and tail number on board and checked. Cockpit prep, that has been completed. Gear pins and covers removed. Signs, we are on and auto. ADIRS, we are navin. Fuel. 5.5 required, 6.0 on board. Altimeters, 3001 set. EFB is checked. Windows, doors, and slides, they are closed and armed. Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle. Parking brake is off for now. Oh, it should be on. Parking brake is on. 4-star checklist complete. Let's get out of here.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Jeremy Harvey says, hey V1, let me know. I'll do special music for the 7K sub celebration. I really wish I could donate, but this is the best way I know how to show support for the channel. Jeremy Harvey, like I've said before, man, do not sweat it. I thoroughly have been enjoying your work. Jeremy Harvey has created all the sounds that you hear, whether it's a donation or a super chat, the intro music. So Jeremy Harvey, thank you so much, my friend. Absolutely. A little special music there for the 7K sub celebration would be pretty sweet. For those that are new to the channel, once we reach 7K subs, we're going to be doing a 7-hour stream for 7,000 subs. And we're going to go from John F. Kennedy, New York, to London City. And then once we're in London City, we'll fly around Europe a little bit in the Airbus. We'll try some Euro ops. I'm sure I'll piss off some VATSIM controllers over there because I don't know how to fly in Europe.
Ready to
But
connect.
it'll be a fun time. So if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Get us closer to that 7K goal. I also have a very special stream planned coming up here real soon. We're going to be going down south to Honduras. We're also going to be supporting the SimWings support project. Go ahead and check that out as well if you're in a position to get somebody into flight simulation. ! SimWings is a good way to get started. Brought to you by our good friend Dougal McTavish, who's always in the streams. He's a fantastic mod. All my mods are fantastic. Dimitri, you're fantastic. Carl Chiller's fantastic. Slam Cannon. Nah, I'm just kidding. Slam Cannon's great. Dimitri says, V, what I'm thinking, a tutorial on how to conduct a flight with ATC would be very welcomed and much appreciated for folks. Dimitri, absolutely, man. I think I said on my last stream, I'm definitely going to do it.
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
I'm definitely going to do it here pretty soon. I just don't know. What do you think? Should I do it in? My original idea was in a light twin or in a GA aircraft, you know, and we'll just do a bunch of VFR comms. Or do you think I should perhaps, you know, stay in the bus? Wow, that was a nice pull there by that fuel truck. Frederick, thank you for the subscription, man. One closer to 7K. Appreciate it. So what do you think? Should I do the comm tutorial with the GA, or should I do it with an Airbus? I mean, I figure there's a lot of guys that get tube liner ATC comms, although it's not always all accurate. But man, that freaking engine looks sweet, doesn't it? The McDo is the tollless part of this bird, correct? Right, no, this is not tollless. This is the FlightFactor A320. Need to check on those 330 sounds too. Dimitri, I'm going to need you to stop drifting around in that fuel truck, please. I got to check out the 330 sounds, Carta. Yes, you know what? I've been blown away by FT Sim and his sound pack for the MD-80, the MD-90. This Neo sound pack, guys, I'm just as excited. This might be the most, I might be the most excited to show you guys this Neo. I don't think I've been this excited since getting IAE engines for this sound pack. This sound pack is freaking sweet. It sounds so good, so I hope you're ready. But he also has a 330 sound pack, which may get me back into the Airbus, into the jar. So we'll see. Avex says, V1, many major differences between startup shutdown for the Neo or the CEO. I'm in Hamburg. Not really, Avex. I said the biggest difference is going to be the required warm-up time for the engine after being started, as well as the required cool-down period before shutdown, especially after using reverse. If you use full reverse, it's 3 minutes mandatory before shutdown, with a recommended 5 minutes or 4 minutes or something like that. A cold engine, a cold Neo start, is a 5-minute
Operation
warm-up.
complete. Go ahead and set the parking brake.
So you'd have to do 5 minutes. Plus, these engines take forever to
Disconnecting
start in
tail.
real life.
Standby.
Also, some real-life differences. If this was a real Neo, we would have an extra push button up here on the overhead that would say dual cooling, and it's really cool. So what happens is, if you press the dual cooling push button during engine start, it will bleed from both sides, left engine and right engine, and it will cool the motors both, because the Neos have to do a cooling period for, depending on how long, 90 seconds, sometimes it can be a minute and 30 or minute and 40 seconds, something like that. But instead of waiting for cooling on the left and waiting for cooling on the right, it'll bleed from both engines at the same time, and it'll just sit there motoring both of these engines, and it's pretty sweet. That way when you go to start up, boom, they just fire right off. So I think that looks freaking sweet. Are you guys ready? I think it's time to start engine
Tow is disconnected and bypass bin has been removed. Hand signal on the right. We'll see you next time, and have a safe flight.
All right, thanks for the smooth push. We'll see you next time. Starting engine 1. Gerald McGinley. Try not to talk over the engine start. Hang on. Alright, so pretty quiet, not super bassy, which is accurate and true to real life. Gerald McGinley, $5 bomb. He says, always happy to join the stream. Butter that top banana. Gerald, thank you so much for your donation, man. Thank you so much for the work you do and making liveries and things like that and just being such a good part of the community at V1. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. PTU kicking off. We're starting engine number 2. Now, you may not be totally sold on these engine start sounds, but I'm telling you guys, these are realistic engine start sounds. Maybe a little underwhelming for some, but just wait until we get an application of power on these bad boys. They're going to be blown away. Ryan says, oh, to clarify, I saw someone said this was a mix of planes, including the TOLUS, so I know it's mainly FlightFactor. Try to remember. Yes, Ryan, it's a mix of the FlightFactor, and the engines come from the JAR Design 320. So these are actually from the JAR. I own the JAR 320, so you kind of do some editing and things like that to get them on the FlightFactor. All right, sounds like we got 2 good starts. Oops, I just moved it into crank mode. I hope I didn't just screw anything up there. Now that looks good. Flaps to 1. Tesla guy, we use Fahrenheit. Oh no, I'm sorry, when measuring temperature. So, a little bit of both actually. All the ATIS and everything that you get from ATC stuff is going to be in Celsius. The only thing in our Airbuses that are in Fahrenheit are the condition pages. So like this says temperature Celsius. In a North American airline bus, this is going to all be in temperature Fahrenheit. But you'll see Celsius here. That goes off Celsius. We get our weather in Celsius. So we're pretty calm. I mean, I know some basic Celsius numbers. That's about it. But there we go. We got 2 good starts. We can go ahead and kill the APU. All right. I think we're ready. Let's do an after start. Engine anti-ice is off. Yellow electric pump is off. Rudder trim 0. After start checklist complete. One thing I'm going to turn down.
Subscribe.
I'm going to turn down that fan volume just a tad when it's time. Oh, I hope he wasn't calling me.
Climb and maintain 2000. Expect flight level 190.
All right, ground control. We're on the South Complex. 3255 is where we need to be. 3255.
863 Charlie Bravo is cleared to VNI. Radar vectors Frago then is filed. We'll climb
followed by Phoenix Tower for 7 left.
Departure 127.4, squawking 6603 for 3 Charlie Bravo.
It's going to be 120.9. We got to let our engines warm up anyway, so no rush to get out of here. No rush to get out of here. 120.9 flaps 1. I think we're ready to go. Since it's a quick taxi out, I'm going to just go ahead and do our mini brief and then our flight control checks before we get out of here, because it's going to be a quick taxi to the runway and we want to make sure we're ready to go when we get down there. So, mini brief, it's going to be off of runway 7 left. It would be depicted here on the Zephyr, if that was depicted properly. On the Zephyr departure, gross weight is 57.4. Flaps, config 1+F, fuel on board is 6 tons. Speeds, off the glass, 125, 133. Toga set. Initial altitude is going to be 8,000. Standard transition with a first fix of Sparky. Transition altitude, we want to make sure it is standard. Transition altitude is 18,000 set. Excellent, no questions. We'll just go ahead and do our checks right now. Let's do our flight control checks. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, Full right.
1991, contact
Neutral.
approach 124.35.
Rudder. Full left. Full right. Neutral. Auto brakes max. Takeoff config. Weather PWS can come on. That's on. Flight attendants, please prepare for takeoff. So we'll come over here to the cabin. Cabin ready. Lights dim. We're gonna go dim 1. Check this out. Our lights in the cabin ready to go. Oh yeah. This is straight juicy, folks. Look at that. Look at that beautiful Neo. Mm-hmm. Alright. I think we're ready to taxi. We're on ground. Perf data, pull that back up here. Phoenix ground, spare wings 423. We just pushed off of Terminal 2, ready to taxi with Gulf.
2 aircraft at the same time, guys. I got Alaska 1991 with 401 approach, altimeter 3016. Information, Romeo, current, expect visual approach, runway 10 right.
Don't forget to set the trim. I forgot to set trim. 0.2% up.
423, Phoenix ground, runway 7 left, taxi via Delta.
7 left via Delta, spare wings 423. Alright, 7 left via Delta. Thank you for that. 0.2. You don't have to set THS in here. There's no need to do that. Doesn't work on a narrow body that I'm aware of. I mean, there may be some crazy operator that allows that. But, are you guys ready for this? I'm just going to give you a little teaser. Are you guys ready? I don't think you guys are ready for this. I'm so excited. But that's how they sound. No joke. All right, we're going to 7 left via Delta. So we're coming out of Terminal 2. We're going to make a right turn on Delta, take it all the way down to Delta 1. Delta is the outer... No, it's the inner.
863 Charlie Bravo's.
Clear left.
Jet Center with India ready for taxi.
Clear right. Thrust Setter became a member. Positive rates in chat. Thank you, Thrust Setter. So glad you joining the channel. Exclamation point. Welcome for the information. I'm sure I've seen you around here before, man. I think you know the deal between the V1 After Dark podcast content as well as the Discord content. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, Thrust Setter. Glad to have you on board. You know, I could use my track IR. I do my track IR out. Fly by.
Subscribe up ahead. Look up.
Pretty frickin' good. I am so pumped. Sounds like it wants to get up and go. It sure does, man. It sure does. Take off on Delta. Now, we're not going to do that. Cheers. Jeremy Harvey says the CEO engines can roar, but the Neo engines are melodic. Melodic? Am I saying that right? Melodic? I don't know, bourbon. The Neo sings. Yes, sir, Jeremy Harvey. It sure does, man. The Neo does sing. So, Dimitri, this pack is a mix and match of the FMOD Neo sounds and the BSS pack. So, he's got two options that if you don't own BSS, you can run his straight pack, the FMOD. But if you own BSS, he's actually incorporated some sounds. Like you'll hear Haley, our cabin announcement and everything. He's incorporated the FMOD sounds for the engine to work with the BSS pack. So if you already have the BSS pack, you're already a step ahead of the game. You're already a step ahead of the game. Captain Birdo, what's going on, man? Sound love? Yeah, we're going to have to get... I'm going to need every member in chat to get the sound love emoji when we go full yoga out of here. This is going to be seriously nice. I don't think you guys are going to be able to handle it. Oh, even my dog's freaking out. She's so excited. All right, we got to pay attention here. Where are we going? We've got Echo 4. So one more. We'll make the left down here. Holly, I'm gonna need you to calm down. I just love these sounds, man. I am so excited for this flight. All right, so this is the ILS critical area. We're not doing ILS operations here. We do not need to hold short of that, but we will hold short of the hold short bars. Alrighty, we're gonna switch it over to tower 120.9er. We're gonna go ahead and set the brake, taxi light off. Departure frequency was 19.2. Let's get that in the standby. I really need to get a radio set because that is one thing that's super hard about flying with pilot edge or any type of network. Not being able to
executive tower, turn left heading 250.
Switch the radios on demand. Gotta look down every time.
At 9er.
Okay, left turn 250 after departure, clear for takeoff, runway 2 for 3 Charlie Bravo.
All right, 078 until reaching 1635, and then we're going direct to Sparky. Let's do it. Phoenix Tower, Spear Wings 423, holding short 7 left, ready to go.
Spear Wings 423, Phoenix Tower, runway 7 left, cleared for takeoff.
7 left, cleared for takeoff, Spear Wings 423.
Phoenix wind now 080 at 12.
Light them up. Issa, what's up, man? Welcome. Just in time. What was the altitude? 1635. Then we're gonna go to Sparky.
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
You're Dika. Thank you for subscribing, man.
Portland approach 126.
All right, guys. I'm gonna spool them up 50 from the cockpit.
Number 3 Charlie Bravo, contact NorCal departure.
Let's do it.
NorCal departure, 3 Charlie Bravo.
Oh. Nose forward on the stick. 80 knots, thrust set. Neutral by 100.
Right 63 Charlie Bravo, NorCal departure, radar contact.
V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Gear up. Oh, yes.
Oscar 1991, Portland approach, thanks, altimeter 3016.
Listen to that baby roar.
Number 3 Charlie Bravo, continue left turn heading 190, climb and maintain 4000.
Lever climb.
Spear Wings 423, contact departure.
Over departure, Spear Wings 423. Autopilot 1.
Number 3 Charlie Bravo, when able, clear direct to Frogo, resume on navigation, climb and maintain flight level 190. Direct Frogo,
Flaps are coming up.
Level 190 for 3 Charlie Bravo.
Listen to those puppies roar. Departure, good afternoon. Spear Wings 423, 4.7, climbing 8,000 on the Zephyr.
Spear Wings 423, Phoenix departure, radar contact. Alaska 1991, fly present heading, vectors visual approach, runway 10 right, descend and maintain 4000.
Tesla guy, no, this is not a 777, but I'm telling you, it's one of my favorite parts about flying the Neo because this is how they sound, man. This is how they sound. I love that whine. There we're in the turn to Sparky.
Level 210.
Climb maintain flight level 210, Spirit Wings 423. All right, he cleared us all the way up to 21. Thrust climb, open climb. Let's go. Jeremy Harvey said, you think this even beats the IXEG? It's pretty darn good, man. Let's do another flyby. That's pretty darn good, guys. There is no vacuum about that. Whew. All right, how are we looking? We're 9.6, climbing to 210. We're getting ready to go through 10. Let's go ahead and get the lights in.
After 1991.
Notify the flight attendants.
Heading
Yes, sir.
Hey, we're at 10,000 feet. Forgot to start that.
That's 190 again, 3 PSU, let's go 1991.
Beautiful departure out of Phoenix. Definitely getting this mod. I already own the JAR 320 HD Sim. That's what I'm telling you, man. When I heard these sounds, Armor87 just subscribed. And thank you, Armor. We are one closer to 7K, guys. If you haven't already, hit that sub button. Thank you, Armor. Glad you enjoyed the content.
130, heading was it?
1991, fly heading 190.
Tesla guy, you could trade one of those Neos for a 777. They'd sound identical. You know what? They really sound very, very similar. A very similar design.
13 Whiskey, press clearance your advisories.
Except, you know, the 777 is way larger. So I'm gonna. One thing I will change here is now that we're up, I'm gonna lower the environmental, which is just that wind sound, just a tad. I'm gonna select speed 300 too, so we can get up
91, the airport about
a little bit higher.
At the airport in slot, let's go 1991.
After 1991, cleared visual approach, you're only
Right.
10 right.
On the way.
Airport visual 10 right, let's go 1991.
November 13 Whiskey, press gate clearance, departure with Phoenix approach 133.57, squawk 1510.
Slam Cannon, you think the bigger engine makes it look more proportionate? I agree, man. I think it looks pretty good. I love the look of the Neos. I think, you know, the ultimate combination is a 321 Neo with sharklets. Absolutely fantastic looking bird. I think the 321 is one of the best Airbuses in a visual appearance anyway, but combine it with the Neo engines, it puts it on a whole nother level. Milltown 24 brings a smile to my face. Yes, sir. How come I don't push the altitude button? LS next to FT, what does it mean? So,
Alaska 1991, contact Portland
I did not press.
3.77.
I'm going to turn it down just a little bit now.
Over the tail, 1, 2.
I did not press the altitude button because...
Range 423, contact Albuquerque Center 134.32.
3432, Spirit Wings is 423, sir. 3432. So if I were to press it, it would go into managed climb, which if we were on an RNAV departure with altitude restrictions, that's what you would want to do. It would honor the restrictions. But I pulled for open climb because he said climb and maintain. That is an unrestricted climb clearance. So I just want to go max climb up to 210. I'm getting ready to skin my dog here. Let's see, the LS push button, that's the localizer slope. We're not going to turn that on right now because we'll do that on our approach. Albuquerque, good afternoon. Spirit Wings 423. We're 16.9, climbing 210.
Spirit Wings 423, Albuquerque Center, climb and maintain flight level 340.
Climb and maintain 340, Spirit Wings 423. All right, 34 is a blue. We're getting ready to go out of 18, so we'll go ahead and set standards. STDs for you and me, 1, 2, and 3.
Alaska 1991, Portland Tower, wind calm, runway 10 right.
Out of 17.8, checks. Climb checklist complete. I'm still doing 300.
November 13 with
Selected.
Ground safe position and confirm again.
So we can get up. Get up a little quicker. Here comes another flyby shot. I mean, that is putting, I think that's putting IXCG, giving them a run for their money right there. Oh, shoot, we're getting into the clouds. It's definitely going to be icing.
November 13 Whiskey, roger. In that case, let's go runway 12.
+5, so definitely, we've got the heats on now.
Foxtrot.
Lock expression, no worries, man, you're welcome. Minty, do I have MPL training? Maybe we call it something else. What are you referring to by MPL? Off the top of my head, that does not ring a bell. What are your thoughts on the cabin flex option for the 321? Hey man, you know what, the way I look at it, Gerald, more seats, more money for the airline. That means ultimately a longer career, right? So, it is what it is. I mean, I know there's I don't know how many different options for the cabin in Airbus. I mean, Airbus has some crazy options for the cabin. I mean, you can run them straight economy, which in real life, let's take a look. So this is a Spirit airplane. Oh, what did I just hit? What did I just hit? Oh, I think I disconnected my auto thrust somehow. There we go. Thrust climb, auto thrust. Okay. I definitely hit the wrong button there. What was I going to say? Oh, I was trying to show you the cabin. So a true flex cabin, or not flex cabin, but a true economy cabin would be these seats all the way through. Kind of like Tolis. I think Tolis represents an all economy cabin. But I mean, there's 321s that can have lavs in the mid section, the aft section. There's so many different options. But hey, man, more seats. Hey, more seats the better, right? It means the airline's making money.
Class 1991 left turn at Bravo 5 if you can make it, which is right there. Perfect. Left turn Bravo 5 straight to Tango into the ramp this frequency.
A little bit quieter behind the engines, which is exactly how it sounds in real life. We'll do a full-blown cabin tour once we get up and cruise as well. Captain Berto flyby sounds really good. I agree, man. Fantastic. Hit the co-pilot ejection sheet. No, I hit I guess I can see what command did I hit. I don't want to do it again. Controls. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this in I don't know what I hit. I hit the slash key right next to shift. I went into full reverse in flight, which is something that wouldn't happen. You can't move the thrust levers into reverse in flight. Won't let you do it. Minty, it says in the UK it stands for Multi-Pilot License, and airlines offer MPL training through flight schools, which means the training is tailored for a multi-crew environment and are guaranteed. Oh, okay. No, so I guess we would refer to that maybe as CRM, maybe? I don't know. No, so no, Minty, we don't have any dedicated NPL training that I can think of.
Bravo 5 now,
but
you go straight
for those
ahead
guys that
Tango.
are interested in becoming pilots, especially in the UK, I know I'm not very well versed in
both are.
the UK or Europe way of flight training. My good friend NASA 6, he has pretty much just completed all of his training, and on the next V1 After Dark podcast, or I may not even put it on the podcast, I may just do a separate video where I'm just going to be asking him questions on the steps he took to get into training, the way to get your ratings in Europe and all that stuff, because I can answer US based questions because I'm more familiar with the regulations here, but he's intimately familiar with the way that EASA does it over there in Europe. So I will be doing a video with him here very soon. Gerald, the cabin flex, the NX removed the L2 and R2 and adds 1 or 2 overwing exits. Yes. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Changes the look. Yeah, you know, I always identify airport. Well, I mean, I know I can see when I look at an Airbus now what model it is. But before, I used to look at the emergency exits. You know, if you had 2 overwing exits, and 1 in the front, 1 in the aft, you know that's a 321. 320's got 2 over the wing. 319 typically has 1, but I know there's different options. Tesla says, can I ask your views on the 737 MAX fiasco from your side of things? Tesla guy, yeah, we talked about it a little bit before.
Whiskey Prescott Tower, departure approved, runway
the whole MAX thing,
cleared for takeoff, wind 120.
My biggest issue with that was Boeing knew they were doing something wrong. Boeing killed almost 400 people. Somebody must be held accountable. That was my take on it, you know, and I think what the CEO eventually stepped down, so that's okay, but I mean, you still put almost 400 people in the grave, so it was a nasty situation. I don't know, I mean, there's airlines struggling, Southwest is struggling now, the MAX fleet grounded. I don't know when the MAX will make a full recovery or if it ever will, but I mean, it's terrible all the way around. My biggest problem with that whole fiasco was the fact that Boeing knew that they were doing something wrong, and then they tried to cover it up on top of that. That's my biggest problem with the whole situation. Because, you know, we can all make mistakes. We make mistakes as pilots. We make mistakes as engineers on an engineering level. We can make mistakes at a CEO level. But you have to be held accountable. And that's why, you know, pilots, just as an example, we're so careful with what we do, because if we screw up and kill somebody, it's ultimately going to fall on us, right? It's pilot error. That's one of the number one, not excuses, but reasons for accidents, right? You see a lot of time, there's a lot of accidents that come down to, what was it? Well, it was pilot error. The pilot screwed up, cost somebody their life. Heck, it may even cost you your own life. So there's got to be accountability. And I just thought the way that Boeing handled it was a little snaky. But I'm not anti-Boeing by any means. I think that, you know, my favorite airplane is a 727. I love the history of Boeing, being an American. I love Boeing aircraft, being in Seattle, Washington, Boeing Field, all that. It's awesome. But it doesn't excuse them from certain humanitarian things. Daniel says the MPL is kind of like the cadet program in the U.S. Okay.
November 13 Whiskey, contact departure.
How do I get the Neo? It's the Jar Design Neo engines on the FlightFactor 320 exclamation point mod to help you get started with that. And I've said it before, just you want to be very familiar with modding aircraft, plane maker, things like that. I do not know, I have not done a tutorial on how to do it. I don't know if I will. Cartage of Wool is the one that helped me get it done. He also helped me get the MD engines. So maybe if he wants to do a tutorial video, I'm not trying to put you on the spot or anything, Carta, but if that's something he'll do, then he'll do it. But until then, you know, I've exclamation point mod to get you started. You can also run the sound pack without the engines if you just kind of want to run the CFM engines, the stock CFMs, and pretend they're Neos. You can do that as well because the sounds are fantastic. So I'm going to pull, let's do a 7.8 climb out, 7.7, because it'll never get up there at this rate. All right, everything else looks good. Let's go ahead and turn down the sounds a little bit now so we can go outside. Oops. Let's go ahead and turn it down a little bit. We'll go outside.
Rover 203 Echo Sierra. Open clearance in front of the Modesto Airport. Minute 5 departure. Radar vectors direct.
How long until we land, Dan Smith? Man, I don't even know. Probably, I don't know. I have to look inside. I just got outside. Maybe about an hour. Ryan says, I miss old school Boeing. People died and they blame people for reporting it and being critical. Got to be accountable. Exactly, man. It always boils down to money. You're absolutely right, Mike Smith. It boils down to money. You're absolutely right. I say that, you know, a lot. I say just follow the money. It can be politics. It can be aviation. It can be business. If you just follow the money, you'll probably find what you're looking for. Ryan says the scrutiny will make them better in the long run. Yeah, who knows, man? I mean, I think the 7.2, actually, my favorite airplane, had a terrible safety record. And the scrutiny turned it into being one of the best airplanes that Boeing made. It just depends, you know? Slam Cannon says, is this getting you hyped for the 321 Neo? Yeah, man, I would be totally hyped for the 321 Neo.
Spear Wings 423, contact LA Center 124.6
2462, Spirit Wings 423, see it? 2462 for LA Center. And Daniel Smith, you said until we land, what do we got here? We're looking at
628, contact SoCal departure.
0053, so right about 47 minutes. 48 minutes. Oh no, I can't math. Bourbon, 50 minutes. 49 minutes, I don't know. Less than an hour. Center, good evening. Spirit Wings 423, level 340.
Spirit Wings 423, LA Center, good evening.
Oop, throttling up. Throttling up to make that Mach
462,
8.0.
SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 4,000.
What should I do if I have BSS and using this mod? Stan, thank you so much for becoming a member. Stan, welcome to Private Pilot. Welcome to the channel. Exclamation point, a welcome for some information if you would like to learn about your new perks to the Private Pilot community of the V1 Simulations channel. Thank you so much, man. What you do for the BSS and using the mod, what you need to do is pretty simple. So FTSim has a very simple way of doing it. If you have the BSS sound pack, all you need to do is take 2 additional files or folders and drag them into your aircraft folder. So he has it laid out very neat. If you don't have the BSS pack, you just copy the regular folders over. I think it's like plugins, data, and sound. Put them in your aircraft folder. Done. But if you're running the BSS sound pack, you have to copy his BSS sound pack files, which I think it just kind of incorporates most of what Comrade has done with BSS, and then it just overlays his engine sounds. But thanks again, Stan. Positive rates in chat for Stan becoming a member. So that whole exclamation point, a welcome thing, it basically just tells you, V1 After Dark podcast content for members only, as well as the V1 After Dark Discord. If you sync your YouTube account to it, you'll get the exclusive rights for the After Dark section as well. So absolutely fantastic. A220 makes the 318 obsolete, maybe even the 319. Zach, you might have a point there, man. You may have a point there. The 319 Neo, however, is a very niche airplane. Very interesting airplane. We'll see what happens in the future. I might know some information about the 319 Neo that I don't know if I can share with you guys yet, but the 319 Neo is definitely more capable than a 220. And the reason being is range. Now, I know the 220 can take, it's more efficient and stuff like that, but you can't just look at an airplane base facts and say, oh, it has this much fuel, can go this long. But you got to look at alternate requirements, you got to look at reserve capabilities and things like that. So the 319 Neo is going to be a very interesting plane, which may compete with the 220, but it'd be right up there, man. I love the 220s. I wish there was a good 220 for X-Plane.
26 Kilo Tango, Las Vegas clearance. Confirm your destination is Lima 35, Big Bear.
All right, let's hop back outside. I just love these views, though. Let's go ahead and we'll cycle through them.
Correction, 752 November Delta, contact SoCal departure.
Love it. I'm loving it, man. Big old fan blades out there.
26 Kilo Tango is cleared out of
All right, let's go.
Las
Let's do a
Vegas,
flyby shot.
On departure, flighting 175. Maintain VFR at or below 5,000.
Bucking a pretty good headband here, too.
Departure frequency 118.4, squawk 6507.
What plugin do I use for the beautiful contrails? I don't use any contrail plugin. This is just default X-Plane, man.
For 26 Kilo Tango, read correct.
Default X-Plane. They do look good, though. I agree.
Right, setting 010, join Victor 8.
Boeing Max is trying to beat Airbus on modern systems. That'll be interesting. Vamir says, hey V1, what plugin do you use for... Oh, I already answered that. Yeah, pretty simple. Pretty standard contrails, man. I don't have any mods for that. Ever had a go-around? Absolutely, man. Ton of them. Ton of go. Almost had to go around... What was it? Last couple days ago? Can't really remember. All kind of comes to a blur. I worked for 6 days in a row, and then one of them we almost had to go around.
For one uniform, center maintain 7,000. Contact SoCal approach 119.6.
Zek says the only reason the 319 to keep going, in my opinion, is fleet commonality. That's why Frontiers orders them. Yes. Yeah, definitely the fleet commonality thing is a big thing, too, that a lot of people overlook when you're looking at new airplanes coming out. Like, oh, what's going to compete with this, and how is that going to change this market? But the fact of the matter is, I mean, if you've got an airline that's got all of the same type, they're going to be hard-pressed to get them to get a new type, because now you got to look at training costs, you got to look at new simulators, all that. So, I mean, Southwest kind of did away with that when they bought AirTran. Got rid of the 717s, just kept the 73s. But it's never out of the question, though, because then what was it? Alaska bought Virgin America, right? So that was an all Boeing fleet, proudly Boeing. They had it on their airplanes. I wonder if they put proudly Boeing on their Airbuses. That'd be pretty funny. This is X-Plane 11, Mike Smith. Stan says, thanks, sir. It's great to be on board finally. Absolutely, Stan. Glad to have you here, man. Thrustetter says, one thing I hate about Pilot Edge is how you can hear clearance ground tower. Yeah, you know what? It's just one of those trade-offs that guaranteed service, guaranteed coverage, but you're going to hear chatter. But, you know, it kind of sounds like you can look at it as, oh, it's just chatter from the radio, because in real life you're going to have a bunch of radio chatter with other airplanes on that same frequency, which you're not going to get in X-Plane, but it kind of adds some life to the radios, I guess. But yeah, I know what you mean. What is the reason for a go-around? Unstable? Unstable mostly? Well, you know what? I wouldn't even say mostly. I would say unstable is part of it, but more, my experience, more often than not, I go around because somebody on the runway in front of us. So whether it be that they... Oh, I think we're picking up some static from COM 2. Let me...
Uniform Romeo. Clear for Class B to L25 TS30, after departure 175 at below 5,000.
There we go. We don't need to listen to COM 2. So, you know, another airplane in front of you. For instance, the go around that I almost had to do, I want to say it was Denver. Everything to me happens in Denver for some reason. But there was a plane in front of us that we called, they just dropped the anchor early. You know, they configure early, put the gear down, put the flaps full, and they slow way down. And now our distance between them is less than 3 miles or so. So if they don't get off that runway, you might end up going around. So my last go around that I can think of, we ended up going around because the plane in front of us hit a bird. They said, hey, we had a bird strike on the runway there. So then they sent us around for possible FOD on the runway. But there's a ton of reasons. I had to go around for an alligator one time, back in a Cessna 172 in Florida.
462 Gulf SoCal approach. Confirm you have the weather.
Have you ever flown to CMH? Yes, I have. I got good friends that live in CMH.
462 Gulf, roger that.
Which Boeing do you recommend? 75 or 76?
Cross Catalina VOR.
I don't really fly.
Santa Catalina VOR at 4,000.
Yeah, I mean, they're both all right. The 7.5, I like the 7.5 over the 7.6. Also, the same guy, FT Sim, who did these sounds, did the MD-80 sounds, MD-90 sounds, he also has 7.57 sounds. So that might be something to check out.
Flying heading 280 to join the Santa
V1's, Minty says, I swear with regards to general aviation, you guys don't have type ratings. It's got, the airplane has to be over, oh my gosh, is it 12.5, 12,500 to get a type rating? So you can fly a lot of twins without type ratings. Did you hear about Alaska joining One World? Yes, I did. Pretty interesting. I know a lot of people that lost a lot of miles in that situation. Ryan says, I'm excited. Alaska has mixed fleet now. Nice to see them with the variety. Yep. Fixer Jake says, my girlfriend was finishing a 12-hour flight from Fiji to LA and American didn't get off in time, so they had to get out of there. Yep.
Kilo Tango asked whoever called for
definitely.
Taxi at Las Vegas, say the call sign.
What is the hardest approach you've ever flown and given the chance, would you try VHHX? I should know that. What's VHHX? I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Let me just do a quick look at that because I've seen that. So I'm just drawing a blank. VHHX. Kitech. Oh, duh. Yeah. I've never flown into Kitech. I think it'd be freaking sweet. Checkerboard arrival. Hardest approach I've ever flown? I'd have to think about it. Probably somewhere in South America, man. South America, or what do you got? The Honduras, and they get a weird down there. You got to do arcs and circles and things like that. Probably somewhere down there.
Altimeter 3000, information uniform is current. Advise you have that and advise approach request.
Did you already see a plane getting bird strike at a point to make an emergency landing? No. Carter says for both engines, V1, Rolls-Royce, and Pratt & Whitney's for 7.5. Wow, he's got sounds for both of them. That's fantastic, man. How to calculate V vertical speed on ILS approaches. Oh boy. I used to know the formula off the top of my head, then I became an airline pilot. It's a factor of your ground speed. Oh man. Maybe one of the, somebody smarter than me. I don't claim to be the smartest pilot, guys, for sure. Especially as an airline guy, you lose a lot of that easy mental math. But for a proper calculation of your vertical speed, it's going to be a factor of your ground speed. And I want to say you divide it by 3?
26 kilo, Tango, turn your transponder on.
I think that might be right. But it's going to depend. So for us in the Airbus, and this is kind of why, you know, that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it, right? And when I was a freight pilot, donation. Vastly 202 donated $10 bomb to the channel. Thank you so much, Vastly. He says, thank you, hey V1, thank you for your videos.
I see the transponder is in altitude mode and now
I hope baby Layla is doing fine. Vastly, thank you so much for that $10 bomb, man. She is doing just fine. She's actually in Florida with her mom right now. Speaking of Florida and Gator go-arounds. But thank you so much for your support for the channel. Really appreciate it, man. And thank you for, you know, asking about her as well. Thank you so much, man. Awesome. But yeah, for vertical speed on a glide slope, for us in the Airbus, it's a little bit different because now the Airbus has something that's called Ground Speed Mini, and it calculates our approach speed for us, and it will vary with the wind conditions and gust conditions at the field. So that's why, you know, in a lot of airplanes, and even in the airliners that I flew that weren't the Airbus, such as the Embraer, you would put in a gust factor for your approaches. So you'd have your VREF speed and you'd put in a gust factor or whatnot, but you don't do that in the Airbus because it will automatically compute the best ground speed for you. Therefore, it'll give you an indicated speed to fly. So I'm trying to explain this simply. So in some situations, because the Airbus has what we call ground speed mini, you may be flying, your VREF speed may be 132 knots, but your VAT may be 155 because ground speed mini is working, you got a very strong wind. So the airplane will say, okay, since, you know, we got to have you fly a faster indicated at 155 here. Whereas another airplane in front of you may have just done a simple gust factor conversion and they only added a few knots, so they'll be on final doing 138, you'll be on final behind them doing 155, and you can see how that gap closes up. And then we just talked about go-arounds, right? So as you're going faster behind the guy in front of you, you'll end up getting too close, and then you may end up having to go around for that situation too. So in the Airbus, you got to be careful of something that we think about ahead of time is, hey, we're going to have a really high ground speed mini. Let's go ahead and configure a little bit early to give the guy in front of us a little more room.
Subscriber ahead. Look up.
Ground speed times 5 equals vertical speed. Thank you, Mark. See, man, I was off. Like, you asked me that question 10 years ago, I would have nailed it. Boom. But if you don't use it, you lose it, man, for sure. What's up, V1? What's up, Ace? Good to see you here, man. Your caddy, or your Daika00 says, hey, man, I'm installing the IAEs now. Where can I find this cool sounds? FT Sim is the sound, Adam. Thank you, Humberto Kramer. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Exclamation point mod, and the Base Neo F mod is on there, as well as some other sounds. So check that out. Thank you so much for the subscription there, Humberto. Really appreciate it. And TL. Excellent. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. We're getting closer to that 7K mark. All right, guys, I want to continue talking and hanging out, but we need to start preparing for this arrival. So Burbank. Burbank, Burbank, Burbank. Let's go ahead and get the weather on active sky first, see what they're doing. Burbank, right now, winds 160 at 8. They're probably going to still be landing runway 8, of course. So, runway 8, 5,800 feet long. Real-world procedures, if you do not touch down at the 1,500-foot marker, you are doing a mandatory go-around. So I'm going to try to do that for you, too. So, we're all familiar with the 1,000-foot markers and then the touchdown zone, right? It goes in increments of 500 feet of blocks down the runway. I always say, hey, within the touchdown zone, you're good. Burbank is an exception. If you are past the 1,500-foot marker, it is a mandatory go-around on runway 8. So you have the solid aiming markers, which represent 1,000 feet. Then you have the 2 hash marks just after the solid boxes. Those are the 1,500-foot markers. If you are not wheels down before those markers, you're going around. Doesn't matter.
Contact LA Center 133.2.
33.2 is Spirit Wings 423. 133.2. Or was it 34.2? I guess we'll find out here in a second.
Las Vegas Tower.
Huh? 33. It might have been 34.2. Center, good evening, Spirit Wings 423. We're level 340.
Spirit Wings 423, LA Center, descend via the Janny 5 arrival.
Descend via the Janny 5, Spirit Wings 423. All right, we got to descend via.
Correction, Delta Echo Delta Uniform Romeo, turn your transponder off.
Wabbit, 6,000 feet. Wabbits. They're going to set 6,000. How are we looking for TOD? All right, TOD is going to be right there at Basel. So, 1,500-foot markers. If the wheels aren't down, you got to go around. No exceptions.
Cleared for takeoff.
It is also an auto brake medium, full reverse airport. So,
flight of 2.
Let's continue to let's load in the box here. So I'm going to pull up my expected weather from SimBrief. Right now they're showing 10 miles overcast, 11,000, 299.5, 299.5. Temperature is 24. Warm there as well. Winds 160 at 8. Nice little crosswind. MDA. So we're going to be shooting the ILS Yankee. Or should we do the Zulu? We're going to do the Yankee. I think it's the same, right? 1555. Oh no, 1075. We're going to do ILS Zulu, so we need to change that. Arrival, ILS, Zulu 8, insert. Oh boy, now we got to come back to our arrival, reselect the transition, needles, insert. There we go. 6,000 is still blue. All right, so now we got the ILS Zulu in there. Perf page, next. We're not going to do an 8.0 descent. Matter of fact, I'm going to do a 7.7-300 because real life SoCal, they leave you high and fast. Hopefully we won't have that issue. But for us here, it's going to be 1075 in the barrel.
Delta, give me 1 second.
1075 in the MDA for the ILS Zulu.
Delta uniform, turn your transponder back
Looks
off.
good to me there.
Kilo Tango,
So LS push buttons on. We're medium brakes. We're playing flaps full. Now let's go ahead and just verify this with constraints on.
2 November Delta, go ahead.
We don't have it. Why is it not connected there? Let's go ahead and connect you.
For 2 November Delta, it'll be with the next.
Wait, what did I just do?
When you check in with them, I'll have the handoff basically right over the
Santa Monica. What the heck is this box doing? Oh, FlightFactor, why must you... We want to turn right back around to Mopey? No, we're not going to do that. We're going to go Mopey.
Number 462A Golf. No traffic observed between you and the Santa Catalina Airport. Report I for
close enough.
Or missed approach.
We're going to go to Joe's. I don't know why it loaded the whole arrival back and it wanted to fly back to the initial part of the arrival. That used to happen maybe in some of the aircraft way back when. Doesn't happen anymore. The FlightFactor's got a little bug with the way it loads transitions on the star. But all right, we've got that sorted. We're headed the right direction now. We still got 6,000 blue. Let's continue to step through Joe's, Donut, Basil, Copley, PMD below 13, below 8. We're going to bottom out and expect vectors to the ILS runway 8. Perfect. Okay, Prague page, K-Burr, runway 8. Let's load that up here as well so we have a backup. Beautiful.
Contact SoCal approach
77300. Perf data has been set. All right. No other questions there. Put that back into nav mode. Now, let me read you guys some actual material for Burbank. It is a mountainous. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's the wrong airport. That was Phoenix. Burbank is a mountainous terrain airport as well. That's what I thought. So we are going to have terrain on ND up as we come into Burbank, and we're a little too far out right now, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. But we will have terrain up. High terrain, all quadrants. Turbulence. The Santa Ana winds can result in moderate or greater turbulence from the surface, 12,000 feet. All areas are noise sensitive. Expect high volumes of GA traffic. Be particularly alert for VFR traffic. I guess I can brief you guys while we look at these beautiful Neo engines, right? Be alert for high VFR traffic in the vicinity of Van Nuys. Hang glider activity is also observed 6,000 feet AGL. There is a high occurrence of TCAS events. What we care about: maneuvering constraints. Gates and taxiways are close to runways. Do not allow any portion of the aircraft to extend beyond the yellow non-movement area boundary outlining the official edge of the runway. Aircraft must remain beyond the boundary to prevent other aircraft having to go around. So, Burbank, very dangerous for this reason. Not because of the runway, which it is dangerous because of that too, being short, but the way that the airport is laid out. So we're going to land 8. There is no differentiator between the runway and the ramp area. So it's literally one piece of pavement with a painted line. So you have to be extremely careful when you're maneuvering the aircraft around in Burbank. You do not want to get any part of that out onto the runway, because then you're going to cause somebody else to go around. Or worse yet, you can cause an accident. For taxiway restrictions, refer to the JEP 10.9, blah, 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 blah. Jet blast hazard. All Airbus 321 operators are not authorized for Hope Airport. So,
313 Kilo Papa contact SoCal approach 134.2.
We can't take a 321 in here, but we're going to take a 320 in. All right, and then there's more detailed information. So I just thought I'd read that to you guys so you guys get an idea of what to expect. This is, by the way, it is a captain-only airport. First officers cannot land in Burbank. All right, so we're going to plan runway 8. We've kind of briefed that. Let's brief our actual approach now. We're in an Airbus A320 Sharklet. Going into Burbank, we're going to plan the ILS runway 8 backed up. Well, it's going to be the visual backed up the ILS.
Visual approach runway 21.
Our minimums 1075 MDA are set. We're going to do medium auto brakes, flaps full reverse. If we have to go around, in the event of a go around, we are going to. Let's look at the go around. Very possible we'll end up going around. In the event of a go-around, we're going to go straight out on 079, intercept the heading of 210 to Victor Tango uniform, hold left turns with a 266 course. That matches the plate. It's in the box. Got any questions? No questions. All right. We are set up just outside of Basel. Where's our TOD? Yep, just outside of Basel. So we got just a little ways to go. We're set up. We're ready for Burbank. Let's go ahead and pull up our RNAV arrival, and then we are good to go. Park it outside, and I can get back to you guys. Beautiful. All right. Dimitri said, I'm scrolling back in the chat now. Can you demonstrate entering a centerline extension in the box again? Yeah, we'll do that when we get down there. We're going to have to do it. So we'll do it once we get down to the airport. Mikey says, so for this mod, it says I have to own the jar design. Is that true? Yes, it is true. Right. Carta is correct in saying if you want the Sharklet mod too. We didn't really talk about the Sharklet mod, but this is a Sharklet mod. You will need the toll list as well.
462 Golf, SoCal Approach Line for cancellation and receipt. Pass for access.
Otto says, I'm in the process of converting Central Sim TJBQ do Center to X-Plan 11. Almost finished. It looks awesome. Just need to delete the black boxes and finish. Awesome. We'll definitely have to check it out, man. No wing flex on this mod? That is correct. When you do the Sharklet mod, you will lose your wing flex. But, I mean, you can still alter back to regular CFM or IA engines. So for me, you know, I have several different copies of the FlightFactor in my X-Plane. I have got a copy with the IAE engines, I got a copy with the CFM engines, and then I have a copy with the Neo engines as well. And if you are going to go down the rabbit hole of modding your airplane, I highly, highly recommend that you back up your FlightFactor.
You're advised when you have weather and expect ILS Zulu runway.
Tesla says it's beautiful. She is. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Mikey says I have a Neo model ready for the 320 and doesn't need the jar toll list to use. Really? Is there any way I could use the sounds part of the pack? I could try messing around in Plane Maker. Mikey, if you go to the sound FT Sim, he's got. I don't know if he has a free version for the Neo. He might. He might have a free version for the Neo. But FT Sim is where I got all the FMOD sounds. Well, we are getting ready to approach Basel.
313 Kilo Papa, clear visual approach.
Top of descent 23 miles. Perfect. Things are looking up, guys. We are ready to go. I'm excited. So, briefing's complete. Ecam status done. Let's do a quick cabin tour, shall we? Go ahead and turn the seatbelts off. I forgot to turn that off. Flight attendants would have been bugging me about that well before now. Into the cabin we shall go. Let me go ahead and beef the sounds back up too, since we're inside now. I don't think they were too loud anyway to begin with. But into our beautiful Batavia mod cabin here. All my mods and sponsors first class. Probably definitely going to have to be expanding first class.
Leaving Bravo airspace.
Let's take a look here.
Resume mode navigation and appropriate VFR altitudes.
Oh yeah. That is very juicy right there. We'll continue on back. Pretty standard Airbus cabin. You guys have all seen an Airbus cabin by now, I'm sure. Does it have the... Nope, doesn't have the little triangle on the windows.
Sorry, I can't read tonight. You're still in the Bravo by about 1,000 feet.
You can hear the sound change as we get to the back of the aircraft. Very quiet, much quieter than it is up front. All the way to the aft galley.
For 751 uniform.
Nice and quiet back here. Excellent.
240, maintain 4,000 until established.
How did you see the new, or did you see the new video of the Microsoft 2020? It will leave you shocked and jealous. Otto, absolutely, man. I am very shocked. I am excited to be a participant in the alpha for Microsoft 2020 as well. So I just got my email not too long ago.
For 313 Kilo Papa, contact Santa Monica Tower 120.
Pratt & Whitney 1100. Yes, pure power engines. These are the Pratt & Whitneys. Yes, they are.
Sorry, say again where you're parked.
Minty says, I'm super tired now. I'm going to have to go. Thanks for the great show and bye, everyone. Have a good one, Minty. Thanks for stopping by the stream, man. Glad to have you on board. All right, guys, there's 11. Normally wait till 5 prior, but let's go ahead and nose it over now just because it's SoCal and Burbank. There we go. Mock descent. TCAS can go into below mode. Down we go. So when you start your descent early in the Airbus, when you start a managed descent early in VNAV, the airplane will begin a 1,000 feet per minute descent rate until intercepting its programmed VNAV path. So if you wonder, wait, well, can I start my descent early in managed descent? Yes, you can. It will just do 1,000 feet per minute until intercepting its path. And that can be indicated right here. So you'll see I started the descent early. We are doing 1,000 feet per minute down. This little squiggly line right here, that's a symbol of when the aircraft will reach its programmed VNAV path. So right when we hit this marker here, the engines will probably come to idle and we'll start on our way down. So, but yeah, you can start your descent early. Look at that headwind. Good night. 121 knots, man. At a 330 now. We gave us a descend via. We're in radar contact, so we don't need to report it to him. Virgo, it says, good evening, Captain, and all from Brazil. Welcome aboard, man. Welcome aboard. Dougal says, first class is for Simwings only. Absolutely, man. Dougal. Simwings. If you guys are in a position to get other people into the lovely flight simulation community, or just get somebody flying in flight sim, man, maybe they can't afford it, maybe they don't have the equipment to do so, check out the Simwings project. It's in its infancy still. Run by our fearless leader, Dougal McTavish. He's definitely done a lot of work on it already. Exclamation point Simwings for more information.
For 616 Sierra Fox, verify your heading.
Fantastic idea from Dougal. Fantastic. Have you flown to or from Midway in this sim? It's amazing there. You know what? Are you talking about Midway, Chicago? Chicago Midway?
Verify your directional drivers.
But no, I haven't done either. I haven't done a Chicago Midway, I don't think, and I don't think I've ever done Midway Island. All right, pulling up my charts here.
No problem. Contact SoCal approach 124.35.
Approach ILS Zulu runway 81075. Perfect. All right. Flyby view. Just noticed that headwind. Yeah, I noticed. That's why this flight took a little bit longer. But look, she's crabbing pretty good too.
Range 423, contact LA Center 125.7.
You kind of broke up there with 257.
2527 for 6 Sierra Foxtrot. Correction, sorry, 2527 for Spirit Wings 423.
All right, 12527 Spirit Wings 423. Have a good one.
For 616 Sierra Foxtrot, SoCal approach. Expect vectors, localizer runway 27 approach.
Let's see if we can pick up the Addons as well before we check in with him. On COM 2.
2.5 miles from
The
Silac.
Addons
Turn right,
freak
heading 050, maintain 3000.
3512.
Localizer, cleared ILS or Zulu, runway 8 approach.
They're doing the ILS Zulu to 8. That's Burbank.
For 26 Kilo Tango, radar service terminated.
Maybe maybe they want 34.5.
Change approved.
Huh. Can't pick it up. Oh well. Did I already switch this over? Yeah, I did. Center, good evening, Spirit Wings 423, 29.2, descending via the Jenny 5.
Spirit Wings 423, LA Center, descend via Jenny 5 arrival, Burbank, altimeter 29904.
29904, descend via the Jenny 5, Spirit Wings 423. 94. Is that what we had?
Louis Tower.
Yep, that's what we had.
Correction, left, downwind departure approved, runway 29er cleared for takeoff.
Go ahead and make our descent announcement, folks, on the flight deck. Just start our initial descent down into Burbank International, or excuse me, Burbank Airport. Right now, we're 106 miles from the field. That translates to about 22 minutes flying time. Weather in Burbank's a beautiful afternoon, 75 degrees, light winds, partly cloudy skies. Seatbelt sign will be coming on very soon. Once it does, it will remain on for the duration of the flight. We do ask that you remain seated until the aircraft drives safely at the gate. On behalf of this Dallas-based flight crew, I want to be the first to welcome you into Burbank. All right, PA is done. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign on once we come out of 18,000, unless it starts getting choppy. Terrain on ND mode will come up. We're descending via. We got 6 blue. I don't know why we're at the bottom of our econ descent window here, but that's all right by me. Down we go.
For 757 Tango Victor is cleared to.
Auto says I have an Asus 1080 Ti. I want to get the 2080.
Maintain
Yep.
5,000. Expect 9 or 1,000 in 10.
Man, I don't know. I would go with the 2080. I don't know. I've got a 970 still, so. Oh wait, no. What do I have? I have a 1070. I have 1070. Sorry. But as a streamer, I'm really looking at those 2080s. But just I'm not going to drop that kind of money yet.
For 575 Tango Victor, read back correct.
LA Expression, you're in my hometown. You want Starbucks? I'll have a limo pick you up. Excellent, man. Appreciate it. I'll be waiting for the limo downstairs. Can't wait for the 321 from Tolis. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to fly. Absolutely, Mikey Robinson. I think it's going to be a blast. I think you guys are going to enjoy it.
For 2 November Delta,
should be pretty fun to fly. No doubt. Get around 60 frames at the moment with tons of add-ons. That's pretty good, man. I wouldn't complain with that. We'll go ahead and bump these sounds back up a little bit. Get the full experience. Let's do another flyby sound. This is a minimum power flyby.
Via Alpha.
Sounds pretty good to me. Pretty much at idle thrust. All right, Copley is 14,000 foot hard altitude. We'll make sure we hit that. Perfect. We're looking up.
6380 Echo.
Is this next plane? Yes, it is. I'm sure you left de-icing on. Nope, de-icing is off. I shut it off on the timeout.
The cruising altitude that you picked.
We might have to turn it back on here. We're -6, getting ready to enter some clouds. Oh man, that just looks so freaking good. Captain, serve me some free peanuts. Hey man, no peanuts. Peanut allergy. I don't think any airline serves peanuts anymore. Maybe we can get you some buzz balls. Little alcoholic balls, for lack of a better word. That's what they are. They're just little plastic balls. Call them buzz balls. They're pretty good. Fabian, hi. I just love the 320 Neo. Fabian, me too, man. I think it's a beautiful
313 Kilo Papa pass for the I-4, sorry.
Testify de-icing? Nope, no de-icing. Good evening, Go Fly Sim. Welcome to the stream, man. Is the JAR 320? Yes, the JAR 320 Neo engines are what I have on the FlightFactor. So you have to have the JAR 320 as well as a FlightFactor to get these Neo engines. Alright, we're looking good. Flyby shot here. Let's get back inside. We'll get the cabin ready. Do a descent check. Beautiful. I can't wait for the engine reverse sound too. We're going to go full-blown reverse. Alright, there's 19.9. We'll go ahead and get the seatbelt sign back on. And we can run a descent checklist. I'm sorry, approach checklist. Briefing is complete. Ecam status is checked. Seatbelts on. A minimums. 1075 is set. Engine NIS 1 and 2. It is off for right now. Altimeters. What was it? What did he say it was? 30. Oh, 29094.
Burbank clear to the Las Vegas
29094 is set.
By the Van Nuys 3 departure, Daggett transition, and then as filed.
Pass an 18.5. Checked.
Expect 11,010 minutes.
Approach checklist.
Frequency 134.2. Squawk 3767.
Turn that down just a little bit there. I can hear those engines whining. I can hear them whining. Mosa, please try the IXCG737. Dude, I love the IXCG737. We're going to probably be doing some Airbus stuff here for a little while. But in due time, we'll be back to the IXCG. I do love that airplane. I think it's a great Boeing they got. I love that IXCG73. Unfortunately, I can't stream the 321 for you guys. I do not have a streamable copy.
Right, heading 070 to maintain 4,000.
But I'm loving these Neo engines. We're going to do some more flights in this Neo. You can expect to see more of this Neo because it's freaking awesome.
60 Foxtrot heading 170.
Dimitri says, Buzzball sounds like a bad STD. Oh, good night, man. You're not joking. That's hilarious. That is funny. Is this Vatson? No, this is Pilot Edge. Thank you, Dugo. Drum 330. Hello, Captain. Love all your content. First time I'm able to see it live. Drum, excellent, man. Welcome. I hope I don't let you down here with my approach into Burbank. We're going to do it real world style. 1,500 foot. The airplane's out on the ground. We're going around. No excuses. Wait, the chap loops occasionally? It shouldn't loop. sometimes I roll back Tesla, so if I end up missing a lot of messages, I'll scroll back in the chat. That's why sometimes it may seem like it's a much more delay or much higher delay than it is, but that's just me scrolling back because I try not to miss that many comments. Dimitri says, did you choose Burbank so you can do a full reverse? Absolutely, Dimitri, you know it. Full reverse. Could you try out SBSP?
757,
Let me know where that one is, man.
She never got released for departure.
Uh-oh, somebody didn't get released for departure. Looks like we're getting ready to enter the clouds here. What do we got for the OAT? Plus 10. So we don't even need engine anti-ice right now. We're plus 10, so we should be pretty good here.
757, Tango Victor. I don't, you opened an IFR flight plan, so I don't think you can depart VFR unless you request authorization to depart VFR. Either way, that's not what the rating calls for.
Ryan Provancha has become a commercial pilot on the V1 community. Ryan, thank you. Whoa! My dogs are very excited.
Range 423, contact SoCal approach 134.2.
Everything's happening here. I'm sorry, I missed that freak. Was that 134.6?
134.2.
134.2, Spirit Wings 423. We'll see you. 134.2. Ryan, thank you so much for becoming a commercial member of the channel, man. Thank you so much. My dogs are excited. We've got a lot of things happening here. Thank you so much. Welcome to the community, man. Exclamation point and welcome. A little extra information for you. Very excited to have you on board, man. Thank you. All right, let's try to pick up this Addons real quick here before we switch him.
For 616 Sierra Foxtrot, it's 5 miles from Vida, turn right heading 240, maintain 4,000 until established on the localizer. Cleared localizer,
34.2
approach.
Is what we want to be on, and Addons is 34.5.
Cleared localizer 27 approach, San Diego 6 Sierra Foxtrot.
So I just don't, that's why I don't like not having a second radio, because I can't pick it up. Second radio, 34.2. There we go.
Temperature 23, 2.3, altimeter 29 or 9 or 4. Arriving and departing runways 8, 15. Visual approaches in use. Land and hold short operations in effect for non-turbojet aircraft landing runway 15. 4,250 feet available. VFR departures, contact, clearance, delivery, advise on course heading, altitude, and if flight following is requested. Read back all runway assignments and hold short. Advise on initial contact. You have information
India? Approach, good evening, Spirit Wings 423, 10-6, descending via the Jenny 5, and it's kind of broken. I think it was India was the information.
Spirit Wings 423. Information India is current altimeter 29904. You have an approach request?
29904 in here. We'd like to do the ILS Zulu runway 8.
Spirit Wings 423, roger.
All right, we're going to set up for the ILS Zulu runway 8. We're going to go through 10,000 feet. I'm going to select speed 250 right now. Come over here, perf, activate, confirm. Don't want to get caught with your pants down on that one coming into the Burbank. Trust me, I've seen it. It's not very good. We're going to go ahead and get our Chinese speed brakes out there right now. Here they come. Looks like we got somebody behind us. Oh, beautiful. Flyby. Ryan says, thank you very much. Glad to be here. Excellent. This is awesome. This is pretty sweet. I'm accustomed with the altimeter 2991, so when it says altimeter, I think I'm ahead 2991. Is that your co-pilot? Yes, it is. It's my transferable PTU. I get a PTU no matter what airplane I fly. Always with me. What's going off on the left side? A little mountain shot there. I like looking at these engines. I'm gonna stay with this side for now. Ryan says, I think I see members of this community everywhere now. This is a fine channel. I'm glad to be among you all, learning, supporting, and boosting. Thank you so much, Ryan, man. That means so much to me. I'm so glad you're enjoying the content and being a supporter of the channel. That is absolutely fantastic. Mosa says, you deserve more views and subscribes. Thank you, Mosa. All right, I feel like we're getting a little bit low here. Let's see what's going on. We should pay attention. We're getting ready to level 8,000. That looks good. Puck is at 8,000, Janny 8,000. After that, we're going to be on a vector to Silex. Listen to those engines, though. Come on. If you guys haven't hit the like button already, you got to hit the like button for those engines. And if it still hasn't been like-worthy, just wait till we drop this puppy into full reverse. Just wait.
November 169 Bravo Kilo, this is San Luis ground.
Alright, we're leveling 8,250 knots. Here comes Puck.
9 Bravo Kilo, roger, where are you parked?
After Puck, we go on a vector.
9 Bravo Kilo, where are you parked at?
Landing 8 from Janny, track 243 to cross Puck at 8,000, then track 201 to Elmer.
Runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
At or above 7,000, cross Wabbit at 6,000. That's for the RNAV, RNP. So,
6160 Foxtrot, contact Lindbergh Tower, 118.3.
But we're on the ILS Zulu, so
Ahead. Look up.
hopefully he'll give me... I don't know why I don't have those fixes on my ND. Where'd they go?
Takeoff.
I guess they just have it as a manual leg. Might be a database error. Oh well. Virgo, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much, man. Welcome. Another subscriber closer to 7K.
Clear to land.
Another subscriber closer to 7K, guys. Fantastic. Tron says, hey V1, how's it going? Not sure if you remember me, but I was moving to Texas to train with an airline program. Yes. Have my first stage check tomorrow. I know exactly who you are, Tron.
423 flighting 200, descend and maintain 5,000.
200, descend and maintain 5,000, Spirit Wings 423. 5,000 open, descent, 200 on the heading. Tron, absolutely, man. Welcome. I'm so happy for you, man. I'm glad you're enjoying your training. I hope your state check goes well. Remember, as I used to tell all my students, man, you fly the airplane, do not let it fly you. If it's doing something that you don't want it to do, make a correction and make it now. Don't wait. Best of luck, man. All right, so let's go ahead and extend the line off of Silex. Our inbound course on the approach is, let's verify, gotta go back to my ILS Zulu chart here. Final approach course is 079, so that would be 269. Not quite. Insert that. Pull heading. Now we've extended the line. That doesn't look right. Maybe it was 258. Maybe it was 258. Silex. That doesn't look right. We'll do 258. Yeah, 258 looks better. Insert. Pull heading. So there we go, Dimitri. They've extended the line. Back to arc mode. That looks good. Sending to 5,000. There she blows over there. I'm going to go ahead and reduce. And once we reach 5,000, I'm going to slow to 210. He hasn't given me any restriction to stay at 250. So I'm going to take full advantage of that and already begin slowing down to 210. I don't normally use 210 in the Airbus. It's a slippery speed. But I'm going to use it right now for Burbank. I hope you guys are ready for this, because this is going to be freaking awesome. Swarm says I have a towel ready for the full reefer. Oh my goodness. You guys. Wabbit, haha, Warner Brothers must be nearby. Ryan, you got it, man. I can't wait for this landing, Mosa. I can't either, man.
Number 6380, Echo, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 1000.
Tesla says aircraft flying you is exactly what happened in Soviet Russia. Oh, that's good. ILS Zulu and ILS Yankee, it can depend. The Zulu has lower minimums for us. I believe the Yankee is when they're doing
2,500.
Can you verify your cruising altitude? You have 6,000.
multiple runway ops on this airport. I know in Philly, they've got a couple different ones. Zulu and Yankee, depending if they're running off of runway 15 as well. But I believe the Zulu is more protected. So we have a lower minimum on the Zulu. They're not... The Zulu, off the top of my head, if they were shooting the Zulu, that means that 1533 would not be in use.
San Luis Airport.
Where the Yankee would be.
Runway Academy. Vectors, Gaviota, R, and as filed.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and bring us all the way back to 180.
Departure
Listen to that
frequency
spooling back, huh?
0.55,
Flaps 1.
Squawk 2332.
Beautiful. Freaking juicy, man. There's so much juice happening right now. Tron says, great advice. Thank you. It's been a juggle to vocalize the checklist and stay ahead of the plane, especially in the pattern. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I know the feeling, man. Definitely progressing and getting better. It's a blast. Tron, absolutely, man. Don't be afraid to practice on next plane, too. It'll definitely help, man. Nunzo, thank you for subscribing, man. Appreciate it. Make sure you report back, Tron.
Flighting to, flighting 160.
160, Spurwings 423. Make sure you report back, man.
423, descend to maintain 4,000.
Descend to maintain 4,000, Spurwings 423. All right, we got thrust idle open, descent 4,000 blue. We're going to go ahead and go flaps 2 coming out. Oh, yes.
For 169, kilo, make left, St. Louis Tower, make left, close traffic, report midfield, downwind, each
Call the buzzball.
Runway 29er, cleared for takeoff.
Yeah, we're doing the buzzball runway 8 approach tonight. The bourbon buzzball. Perfect timing because I'm just about out of fuel here. But listen to those engines screaming, man. I freaking love it. I'm so pumped.
423, 5 miles from Silex, turn left heading 280, maintain 3,600 established on the localizer, clear for ILS Zulu runway 8 approach.
All right, confirm 280 on the heading. I think he meant like 120.
Yeah, 100 heading.
100 on the heading, forward to established clear to ILS Zulu runway 8 approach, Bear Wings 423. Thanks, sir. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go out to 120 on the heading there, and we're clear to approach. Cat 3 dual autopilot 1+2 glide slope blue, a loc blue. I'm not picking up any localizer signals yet, which is no good. We're flaps 2, landing gear, almost ready to come up. Tower is going to be 18.7.
Right, Delta Lima, say requested cruising altitude.
I wonder, did he say 3 till established?
Right, Delta Lima next. Departure frequency 119.6, squawk 27.
No, I think we'll be okay at 4, but I think he might have said 3 till established. All right, guys, I'm not going to pay attention to chat because this is a no-joke approach.
Level 3,500 request.
This is one of those approaches where you must be configured flaps full and configured prior to the final approach fix as well. So that 2,000 thing goes out the window. We're going to configure now.
We're calling
All right, we're going to go ahead and manage up. Loc star.
622 Sierra Bravo. For 622 Sierra Bravo, Santa Barbara.
We must be fully configured before the final approach fix.
53 November 622.
But we also don't want to be flying level. So I'm going to go add a sequence flaps 3. You want to try to avoid flying level and fully configured as well. So
Sierra Bravo, your radar contact 2 miles.
we're going to let that glide slope come down.
Gaviota VOR.
I'm going to get my track IR going.
I'm going
to get that going. So we don't need track IR. I'll go ahead and turn it off. We're going to sync this now. Thank you, Chris Scott, for the subscription. Appreciate it, man. All right, we've got our PFD out. We've got our ND out. We're at flaps 3.
Subscriber ahead.
Here comes the glide slope. Go around altitude is going to be 4,600. Glide slope star. 4,600 is set. Blue. Gear down. Flaps full. Landing checklist. Cabin crew advised, auto thrust, speed, Ecam Memo. We're going to hold by on the Ecam Memo until we get a little bit lower. We're going to be about 2,500 feet. So we're on the slope. Everything is looking good.
For 6380, clear direct slap, resume the departure.
Direct slap, resume departure, 6380.
Oh, baby.
Spare wings 423, contact Burbank Tower 118.7.
18.7 spare wings 423, is it? We were cleared approach, so I should have got that light on. Burbank Tower, spare wings 423 ILS, Zulu, runway 8.
Straight wings 423 Burbank Tower. Wind 130 at enter. Runway 8 cleared to land.
Runway 8 clear to land. Straight wings 423. All right, we're clear to land. We're holding the checklist there at the Ecam Memo. Look at that crosswind coming in. She's already crabbing.
Bravo Kilo, runway 29 cleared for the option.
Cleared for the option, November 169 Bravo Kilo.
I mean, I should not be doing this on approach, but this just looks too good.
Short 29, ready for takeoff, close traffic.
Let's not end up in the drink.
For 19er,
I agree.
833, make left, close traffic, report midfield.
Here comes a Buddy.
Runway 29er, cleared for takeoff.
Runway 29, clear for takeoff.
Buddy,
make left, close
3,000
traffic,
checks.
For 9er, Bravo
All right, I'm going to run the
Kilo,
checklist
arrival,
myself.
remaining in the pattern.
Ecam Memo. Gear is down 3 green. Signs on and auto. Ground spoilers armed. Flaps config full. Landing checklist complete. So you can run that manually. Oh, now it just popped up. Now you can say landing all green. Landing all green. But when it's not, doesn't pop up, you can also run it manually. All right, I'm going to go ahead. Autopilot's coming off. Oh, it's not bound to this joystick. Dang it. Autopilot's coming off.
Runway 24, taxi via Alpha.
Let's do it, folks.
Limburg Tower 616 Sierra Foxtrot, clear of runway 27 at Bravo 9.
For 616 Sierra Foxtrot, Roger,
11 knot direct crosswind, baby.
Go to GA parking. We just missed the right turnoff.
6 Sierra Foxtrot, Roger, taxi via Bravo. At Bravo 6, across runway 27. And
Oh,
Charlie
lights
to
just
the
turned on,
right.
even
For the
better.
rating.
Entirety of Southern California just turned their lights
We'll
on.
taxi via Bravo at Bravo 6. We'll cross runway 27 and Charlie to the GA ramp. 6 Sierra Foxtrot.
These sounds, though, right?
For 6 Sierra Foxtrot, passed.
Man, this approach profile much lower than that 6.59 into Aspen, huh? I mean, you can just tell. When we were doing that Aspen approach, it was nuts. This isn't even 3 degrees, yeah.
For 351 Charlie
Half
Bravo,
that of it in
Tampa
Aspen.
ground, runway 25, taxi via Juliet.
Oh, nice little weather reload there on ShortFinal. 1,000 feet stable, down to land, clear to land. Let's do it.
Tower 119.7.
1,000.
First time here, Omari. Welcome. We are landing at Burbank, California, man. 5,500 foot runway.
62 Bravo, 10 miles
No joke.
northwest of Quest full stop with Delta. 6220 Bravo.
It always looks
Santa
shorter
Barbara
than I
Tower,
remember.
Enter a left downwind, runway 25, clear to land. Left downwind, runway 25,
12
clear to
knot
land.
direct crosswind, man. 2 whites, 2 reds. We're stable.
Skyhawk 19833 is...
I don't want to go around just because I want to hear the reverse sounds. All right, I'm going to be quiet.
19833, runway 29er, cleared for the option.
Yeah, clear for the option, 823.
100 above. 400. Minimum 300.
Runway in sight, landing.
Jumping ground, Piper.
200.
Gonna drop it in, looking for 3 reds, 1 white, perfect.
$100.
Someone called John Wayne ground, all I heard was John Wayne ground, Piper, and it cut
50,
out.
40, 30,
That's
20.
Piper 7
Retard.
November Delta,
5.
looking for the I-4 rating. If you could give me a
What?
destination.
Was not a hard landing.
For 752 November Delta, destination is going to be Santa Monica.
And am I required to fly the tech route, or can I
Spoilers.
fly on my own?
For 752 November Delta, negative, you have to file the tech route. That's the whole point of the rating.
Ooh, I extended those reversers just a little bit for you guys. 51 feet above the threshold, right on the money.
even if you didn't file it,
0
I'd have
feet
to
from
put you
center
on it
line
anyway.
until I touched down. And then we got a little X-plane wonky, but I don't believe that hard landing one bit.
Show range 423, tack and parking, frequency change approved.
Over to park and have a go on Spear Wings 423. Alright, so this is where we got to be extra careful.
For 169 Bravo, the traffic.
We're gonna just turn
Skyhawk, about a
right
mile
here.
base, left base, you have
Subscriber
the
ahead. Look up.
For
San Luis Towers, November 169 Bravo Kilo, left bed downwind for runway 29.
169 November Kilo, I just made a call for you and you didn't listen. Make height 360.
Well, turn 360, November 169 Bravo Kilo.
Boom! Alright, brake set. Now, welcome to Burbank. Got to start the APU, but what I'm going to do is, we're not going to wait for the APU. We're going to go ahead and go ground power on.
Ready to pick up IFR clearance.
Ground power is on. We'll simulate a 5-minute cooldown on those babies for full reverse.
1884 Mike, John Wayne clear.
Engine 2.
Clear to John Wayne Airport. On departure, flight heading 2 through.
Yeah. Spooling it down. I am stoked. Oh, you know what sucks though? I don't know if we're going to get reverse sounds. APU power's on, 5% N1. Beacon comes off. That should have been off on the power transfer. Thank you, FlightFactor. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Burbank. What do we got for brake temps? What do we got for brake temps? I don't believe that plug in there. I don't think it was that hard for sure, but we were definitely in the zone. 50 feet over the threshold, 0 feet from center line, and then the X-plane wind factor took over. But let's study that landing. Let's take a look at it. I want to see, I'm hoping maybe we'll have replay sounds, but I don't know if we do. Disconnect from pilot edge. I will not forget pilot edge. Disconnect.
Disconnected.
Look at that. Did not forget. Toggle replay mode. We're going to throw this into replay mode. We'll clear that off the screen there. Let's back it up. Oh, baby. We do have some engine sounds for the replay. We're going to go ahead and watch it from here. Let's go ahead and get a little bit closer, though. Let's get a little bit closer. All right, so I'm gonna have to ask you guys, my Burbank, I'm using just a free one, but it sits on a weird plateau, and I think I've noticed something with airports that aren't properly sitting in the mesh where the landing rate will trigger extremely hard, even when they're not, because the airport's not at the right elevation. I don't know if that's a factor or not. I'll talk about that later. Let's go ahead and enjoy some of these sounds here on the replay, and then we'll study the exterior replay. But I think we were right on the zone. Remember, 1,500 foot, that's only 500 feet past the markers. If you're not on the ground, you got to go around, and no exceptions. Oh, Dimitri, another great stream. Got to leave, though. Off to Honduran. Looking forward to the Honduran coffee. Dimitri, excellent, man. Get out of here, bud. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Oh, yes. Look at that. 0 feet from center line, 50 feet above the threshold. 1.01 G is nothing. Oh my goodness. My juice. Alright, let's back it up. Let's back it up. Let's turn it over. Let's put it right on this side. Yeah, RJ, I know it's flat in real life, so I don't know. I think it is the slope runway issue. Oh my gosh. HC Sim, you're going to send me a different link for Burbank. Appreciate it, man. Hit me up. You definitely tell I got off center line there. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at it. So after touchdown, X-plane always pushes you over because of the wind, so we know that. But let's take a look at this touchdown here. Coming over the fence. I mean, that was firm. It wasn't a butter, but I don't know that, I mean, 300. Let's see where I actually touched down. So there's 1,000. Touchdown. So there we are. There's a runway stripe. There's 2 stripes. So that is right at 1,500 feet. Any more float right here, that is a mandatory go around. So that is right on the 1,500 foot marks. Got a little bit close. I can tell that runway stripe here, number 2. There's a runway stripe behind us, and then the 1,000 foot markers. So that is pretty darn close to 1,500 feet. Also, you can reference a taxiway across there. But that, to me, didn't seem that hard, but it was firm on center line. And then let's see, I get blown off here every time. So you could see, you know, I've got rudder left, and the airplane just wants to continue to weather vane into the wind. I think that's going to be tweaked in active sky. I don't know, let's back it up. Looks like a runway view. But my goodness, that was fun. Oh my gosh. 16 knot crosswind, Burbank, 1,500 foot markers. We're down. 3 wire. And then it gets ugly. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Burbank. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this stream. I hope you enjoy the Neo mod. I hope you enjoy the Neo sounds. I hope you enjoy them, because you can expect to see another stream with this airplane very, very soon. There's only a couple liveries out. Spirit, I think the Airbus house livery is another one. So I got to be digging around for some liveries. But this was a lot of fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, hit that like button on the way out. All my mods and sponsors, thank you so much for everything that you do here on this channel. Regulating the channel, helping people out with links in Discord. Ah, that's sexy, man. That's straight sexy right there. So guys, until next time, all my new members, donations, supporters, thank you so much for everything you do on this channel. I'll be seeing you guys here very soon, probably tomorrow, and I hope you guys like some Guatemalan coffee. So until then, guys, V1, I'll catch you later. See ya!